Fed up of wardrobes, driven to distraction and drowning with doom boxes? Tired of living in chaos? Welcome to Decluttering Untangled, how to declutter when you're overwhelmed, ADHD or autistic. I'm going to help you uncover the secrets to decluttering, no matter what hurdles you face. You'll discover how to declutter, de-stress and transform your world. I'm Heather Tingle, reformed hoarder, neurodivergent declutter queen, and your guide through the maze of mess. Let's get untangled. Hello, Untanglers, and welcome to another episode of Decluttering Untangled with me, your host, Heather Tingle. Now, today's podcast has happened because in the last week, I've had two separate clients, one a one-to-one client and one in the membership, use a word which has made me really frustrated. And I've taken the time to talk it through with them, and they felt it was a really useful thing to hear. And it's something I think you might need to hear too. It is decluttering related, don't panic. But one thing I want you to think about is when someone, or more likely you, calls yourself lazy. I hate the word lazy. I hate all the connotations of it. I hate the shame that it brings. And I just hate it. And I really want to talk this through with you today, because it gets in the way of decluttering. It gets in the way of you moving forward. And I think also we have a predisposition for us to call ourselves lazy, because if you live in clutter, we see that isn't how other people live. And a lot of the time we think it's just because we're lazy. We think that it's all on us. And the difference must be that they work harder, they do something you don't. And also there's a tendency, especially if you're ADHD, that we've got two modes. We've got on the go, go, or we've got stop and collapse due to exhaustion or burnout. When actually there is a third mode, and that's called rest. That has taken me 48 years for me to get my head around, and I would really like you to learn it a little bit quicker than me. But I think it's quite difficult when we live in such a capitalist society, and I don't want to go on about it because politics and all the isms aren't really my thing. But when we live in a society where it seems people's worth is based on their productivity, it can seem that if we're not doing something, then we are lazy. Well, please, can we stop that right now? Because I'd really like you to explore the feelings of laziness and look into it a bit deeper so that it can really help you, not only mentally, but it can help you when you're decluttering as well, as you've got a better awareness of your needs and ways to make positive changes. So you can make those changes and make it easier on yourself without the judgment, without the shame, and actually by moving forward in better ways. I think that neurodivergent people especially are vulnerable to this label, often because our brains process and organise tasks differently. So prioritisation is hard. So we might look like we've been really productive, but just on an exciting thing, not necessarily a thing that needs to be done. So we might have been really, really busy doing the fun thing rather than we haven't done the thing that we needed to do. So the pots might still be in the sink, but we've half painted a door because we saw a colour that we wanted to paint it and got half done on it. So we've expended a lot of effort and energy, but it's been directed at a thing that probably didn't need doing. So I think that's an issue. Also, I also think that we are project-based. So we need something to be bad and then we will blitz it. And in the meantime, while things are getting built up, we kind of think, well, it's all right because it's not worth doing yet. I'll wait until. And then hopefully we get to the point where we're able to deal with it. We have a big blitz. Everything looks great again until it doesn't again. And they are only very small periods where it looks like we've actually taken action. But that's because our brain works by being project-based rather than individual-based. So instead of just washing a few pots, we wait until all of them need doing. And it's the same with lots of other examples in your home as well. So to the outside eye, and maybe to you yourself, when you see all the stuff that needs doing, you think, oh, I'm so lazy. Actually, it's not laziness. It's you're trying to be efficient, really, and you're being project-based. And also, I think by not doing the thing, people assume it's because we didn't want to do it. And often it's because of overwhelm, a sensory issue, or task paralysis kicking in. And I think laziness in the neurotypical world is seeing something that needs doing and thinking I can't be bothered and I'm not doing it. Whereas in a neurodivergent world, it's seeing something that needs doing and either forgetting it instantly because we've got distracted by something else, or feeling unable to do it because of overwhelm or whatever, a million other things, that is not laziness. That really is not being lazy. So things like trauma, chronic stress, burnout, or illness can lead to energy depletion. And that can look like doing nothing from the outside. But actually, and especially with a lot of clients I work with, actually what you're doing is you're using all your spoons or all your energy on surviving, on keeping yourself alive. And that is a huge well done from me for just doing that. So it's not laziness if you have only had the energy to get out of bed and brush your teeth like in a week. Of course you're not going to be able to do anything else because you're using all your energy on that. So when people say lazy, or you yourself are thinking you're lazy, I want you to rethink it and think of actually what this could mean. Executive dysfunction, overwhelm, fatigue, whether that's mental, physical, or emotional, decision paralysis, burnout, or prioritizing basic survival and self-preservation, not laziness. It's not laziness in the true sense. So let me just reiterate. You have not been lazy. You have just used all your energy on living. And often our homes don't show the effort involved in just keeping them going, because in a non-cluttered home, and I know this now, in a non-cluttered home, it takes way less energy than a cluttered one to keep on top of. So you're not lazy. You're actually working harder than other people with decluttered homes, actually. So well done you. I think we also need to, the way that this can help you in a practical sense is by reframing laziness, or the word lazy, as a flag rather than a flaw. So if you feel you're being lazy, it's often a red flag from your body or brain that you're at capacity or something needs to change to make that action happen. So the question isn't, why am I so lazy? But it's actually, what is getting in the way of me doing this? Why am I struggling with this? What do I need to do more or less of right now? So shifting that from I'm lazy to I'm struggling with this because. And when you figure out that because, that's when you can find, you'll notice those things that, these are the same things time and time again that I'm struggling with. Okay, let's find a solution, because we're really good at finding solutions. What is the solution? What is a system you can put in place? What can you do to make it easier on yourself? And it might mean changing the day you do something because you've got more energy to do it. It might mean getting somebody else to do it. It might mean changing the strategy or the system that you've got in your house to make it easier for those low energy days, so it's easier on you to keep on top of it. Finding those strategies to work around. So finding those strategies to support when you're stuck without shame might look like using body doubling, breaking tasks into micro steps so it's not big project thinking that we're used to. Permission to rest without earning it is a big one. And I think if you, like me, you're living in chronic burnout, allowing yourself to rest because you know that you are doing something productive later is a really good guilt-free way of resting, because you've diaried in either with me or with a body doubling or with somebody else or just with yourself that this is what you're going to do when you're going to do it. I really want you to start thinking yourself as like a phone battery, and the idea of building up energy by recharging when you need and pacing it, not just pushing through, but also asking for help when you're able, if you're able, to create a bit more bandwidth. And that help can look in a million different ways. So please remember that your worth is not tied to your output. You are doing the best you can, and that is okay. And it is far harder to survive living in a full house than it is an uncluttered and organized one. So be a bit kinder to yourself. So remember, laziness is a myth. It is a flag, not a flaw. And when you're trying to exist in a world not designed for your brain and living a home that makes it hard to balance everything, then that is not laziness. So remember, you are not alone. Be kind to yourself and keep untangling. Thanks for joining me for today's episode of Decluttering Untangled. If you found anything that I've said today helpful, please do me a favour, hit that subscribe button or leave me a review. It's like receiving a virtual high five that keeps me going and lets me know that I'm helping real people out there and I'm making a difference. Please remember, you're not alone in this. I'm building a community of fellow untanglers over on Facebook. Just visit the show notes for the link to my free decluttering community. So until next time, remember, you're not alone, you're not lazy, you can untangle your life.